Namaskaram. So once again, this is Sandhya Shankar with you from Music of Madras on ACHARYA CHAT. Today we have a very special guest and I am super excited to be chatting with her. We have Priyadarsini Govind with us.
Namaskar.
And I don't think I need to, elaborate and give big introduction. She's a very well-known person and I'm so, we are so grateful that you could make time to come here today.
Lovely to meet you.
So, as we started this program, the concept was to talk about gurus and the people who have been behind the scenes, who have brought a lot of talent to this world, and that was the idea that we started this. So, starting from there, obviously I'll be asking you what was your journey,
Sure.
and who was your first guru, and how did you happen to be where you are today.
Sure. First of all, such a pleasure to be here on this platform, and thank you very much. So, the my first teacher was Acharya was Srimati Usha. She was a very young teacher, and I think I was her first student, and she was trained by Adyar Lakshmanan sir. But she was very young and she knew just one margam. So I did my arangetram with her, and then afterwards she suggested that I go to somebody more senior and experienced. So Mr. Vajidaraswamy uncle had come for my arangetram, and he took my mother and me to Kalanidhi Mami. So I was around 9 when I joined Mami. Mami had just started teaching, and it was Kalanidhi Mami who then suggested that we go to Rajaratnam sir. So within 6 months of starting with Mami, I started with Rajaratnam sir.
Okay.
So
But your arangetram was with Usha.
Usha. Yeah.
So you must have been terrifically young.
Yeah, but that's very normal. No? Most young girls start at a very young age. By the time they're 9 or 10, they do their arangetram. So it was not anything
Extraordinary.
special or different, no.
Okay. But in your opinion, how long does it take for a person to reach a state of arangetram?
That also depends on how many days of.
I mean, are we looking at say something like 10 years or 7 years, or it varies from each student to student?
Yeah, of course it varies, but also how many days in a week do they learn? See, when we started, can I switch between Tamil and
Of course.
Okay.
So we do it all the time.
Okay. So when I learned, I used to have class 6 days in a week.
Okay.
So 3 years, 6 days in a week is a good enough time, right? So, but ஆனால் வந்து once a week class இருக்கிறதோ இல்லை twice a week class இருக்கிறதோ definitely it makes it less, the frequency is much less. So they need a longer period of learning. More than that, how the child responds, the teacher's way of teaching, what the teacher expects from the child. All factors have to be taken into account. But the student ready-யா இல்லையாங்கிறத teacher தான் decide பண்ணும்.
Absolutely. I think you need to take the permission from the teacher, and even as per the dharma of learning, you need the teacher's blessings and permission before you stage an arangetram.
Definitely. The thing is, see, நம்ம இப்போ ஸ்கூலுக்கு போனோம்னா the responsibility of the child is with the teacher. இல்லையா? அதே மாதிரி தான் இதுவும். Danceங்கிறது the Acharya is responsible for the child. They know best when the child is ready, what the child needs to learn. So a good teacher will guide the parents and the student in the right direction. So it's best to trust the teacher to do the right thing.
True. I think in fact it is even more child specific and individual. I mean, very child specific as when it comes to performing arts. Because in a school, what we would do, let it be any form of syllabus, CBSE, ICSE. So they're all working towards that. But when a 5th standard exam comes, every child needs to take it. There is no escape from there.
Yeah.
But here the teacher is at least, studying each child.
Absolutely.
And they can guide as to when is the right time that the
Correct.
kid is ready to.
Correct. I know. Because a lot of times வந்து அந்த ஆர்வம் சில டைம்ஸ் இந்த ஓவர் எந்தூசியாசம் ஆஃப் த பேரண்ட்ஸ் இல்லையா சம்டைம்ஸ் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் அவளை ஒன்றும் சொல்ல முடியாது ஏன்னா அவள் பசங்களை ஸ்டேஜில் ஆடி பார்க்கணுன்னு அவளுக்கு ஆசையாக இருக்கும் இல்லையா பட் ஆனால் பெஸ்ட்டு வந்து டீச்சரை வந்து
லீவ் இட் டு த
டீச்சர் பிகாஸ் ராங் ரீசன்ஸ்க்கு ஸ்டேஜுக்கு போகக்கூடாது இது என்ன சரி குழந்தைய ஸ்டேஜில் ஆடுறதுக்கு ஐ மீன் ஸ்டேஜில் பார்க்குறதுக்கு அழகாக இருக்கும் எஸ் பட் ஒரு கலைங்கிறது வந்து வெறும்னா வந்து ஸ்டேஜில் போய் ஆடி ட்ரெஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு ஆடுறது இல்லை இல்லையா இட் ஹேஸ் அ வெரி டீப் இம்பேக்ட் ஆன் த சைல்ட்
அப்சல்யூட்லி
ஸோ அதனால ஒரு நல்ல வழியில் அந்த குழந்தைய யூஆர் ஆல்சோ டீச்சிங் த சைல்ட் மெனி லைஃப் லெசன்ஸ் த்ரூ தி ஆர்ட் ஒரு டார்கெட் ரீச் பண்ணணும் வந்து டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் சக்ஸஸ் அண்ட் ஃபெயிலியர் வித் த சேம் ஈக்வானிமிட்டி அண்ட் பேலன்ஸ் இதெல்லாம் எனி ஆர்ட் டீச்சர்ஸ் யூ அண்ட் எஃபர்ட் கொடுத்தா தான் ஒரு கோலை ரீச் பண்ண முடியும் இன்னைக்கு சரியாக வராட்டா நாளைக்கு பெட்டராக ஆட முடியும் அந்த ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரென்த் ஆஃப் மைண்ட் அந்த ஒரு டாலரன்ஸ் விடாமுயற்சி அண்ட் ஆல்சோ குட் என்னது டிசிப்ளின் அண்ட் in a good teacher என்னன்னா அந்த டீச்சருக்கு எப்படி டீச்சர் கொண்டு இல்லை அந்த கலைக்கு எப்படி மரியாதை கொடுக்கறது பக்கவாத்தியக்காரர்களுக்கு எப்படி மரியாதை கொடுக்குறது எப்படி உட்காந்துக்கிறது எப்படி பேசுறது இதெல்லாம் these are all things that we learn along the way.
Especially I think your art
Definitely.
from it imbibes so much of grace in a person.
Sure, definitely. ஒரு மரியாதை கொடுக்கறது ஒரு empathy, all these things are important. So a teacher when they teach, the Acharya teaches not just the art but life lessons as well. So I think அந்த ஒரு நல்ல ஆச்சாரியா கிடைக்கிறது ரொம்ப important. And ரெண்டாவது the parents should completely trust. Once you have chosen the right person, then you should leave it to the Acharya to take your child where they see fit. I think that's important.
Absolutely. In fact, today there are so many Arangetams, of course not this year, not the COVID year, but they launch the child and the parents do it in a very, very elaborate way. It's almost like a mini wedding, you know.
Correct.
And I remember when my cousins had Arangetram and all, I was not fortunate to learn dance. But when my cousins learned dance, that was not done in such a flashy manner.
No,
Though we came from an affluent family, it was very modest, and the teacher said they could have their Arangetram and there will be a good number of people for the Arangetram. Now it's followed by dinner and there is a lot of grandeur involved. So I don't know, when did this transformation take place or why did it happen?
Yeah, see, those are all the trappings.
Why nobody knows that. I think it's also peer pressure, no? Somebody does it and then like in every field.
America வேற ரீசன்ஸ்க்கு பண்றாவா அவ வந்து ரொம்ப தூரத்துல இருந்து வரா they need to arrange for food.
Okay.
See, அந்த விஷயம்லாம் the reasons are different. But இங்க எல்லாரும் பக்கத்துல இருந்தானே வரா அம்பத்தூர்ல இருந்து வந்தா கூட மயிலாப்பூர் கம்பத்தூர்ல இருந்து வந்தா கூட
எல்லாமே
they can
கிடைக்கிறது.
always get back home for dinner, right?
Yes.
But I guess it's each person's preference. See, the thing is, if you want to do something for your child, who are we to say anything about it? But அது வந்து ஒரு don't go over the top என்ன சொல்றது, if you can't afford it, there should be no pressure to do it. எல்லாராலையும் பண்ண முடியும், எல்லாராலையும் இவ்வளோ செலவழிக்க முடியும்னு கிடையாது இல்லையா. ஸோ இது என்னன்னா கலையை கற்றுக்கணும், அதுதான் இம்பார்ட்டண்ட், அதை மறந்துடக்கூடாது in all this இல்லையா.
So in your journey, you've been with 3 teachers. Do I get it right?
See, the thing is, I learned with Usha teacher, but my learning was for 3 years. I did my Arangetram with her, but Kalanidhi Mami and Rajaratnam sir were my.
Of course, they were legends in their own mind. Would you have some anecdotes or some life lessons they would have shared with you, or something which would still comes to your memory? Something humorous, something which you will be able to share? Because these are, when we take a leaf out of such things, it can, it shows, it helps you to understand not
Yeah.
only the art, but how you have evolved to be the person you are.
Sure.
They would have had a very huge hand in your progress.
Totally. ஏன்னா இப்போ நான் டான்ஸ் ஆடுறேன்னா இட்ஸ் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் கலாநிதி மாமி அண்ட் ராஜரத்னம் சார் இல்லையா. நம்ம அந்த டீச்சர்ஸ் இன்ஸ்பயர் பண்ணதுனால ஐ டுக் இட் அப் அஸ் அ, இஃப் யூ கேன் கால் இட் அ கெரியர், ரைட்? ஸோ என்னன்னா இப்போ இட் வாஸ் நாட் ஈவன் வென் ஐ வாஸ் யங் at that time, having being a professional dancer was not really very common.
Yes.
Or not encouraged. And என்னோட ஃபேமிலியில் nobody danced. ஸோ அதனால மியூசிக் ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் எல்லாரும் கற்றுப்பா, ஆனால் ப்ரொஃபஷ்னல் மியூசிஷியன்ஸ்லாம் கிடையாது. அவள் வந்து பாட்டு கற்றுப்பா, அவள் ஆசைக்கு பாடுவா, and that's about it.
I mean, I think all of us went through that vibe part
Isn't
thing.
it?
But dance, I think for two reasons, there was a little bit of, what do you say, the parents were not so eager to send the child for dance.
Yeah.
At least in my case, it was like that. They used to say that, எப்படியும் பாட வரதில்ல, you be content with that. Only those who can't sing will need to dance. That's one logic. Second logic that was given to me is it's very expensive. So, not that they couldn't have offered it. Third, what will you do once you get married, once you've got more to study? It requires a lot of hard work. It was almost a foregone conclusion that you will not be able to continue with dance. And last thing they sort of frightened us was, dance kathunda naduvula vutta you put on weight. I have anyway done it. Paatu vittalum you put on weight. So I don't know. So your parents were encouraging, I guess.
See, my mother, I think, wanted to learn to dance. So my father just obliged her. I mean, my father was not, he didn't, it didn't matter to me either way. Of course he was
neutral.
He was neutral. But my father was the one who would, arrange for the shows. Who was, who would make sure everything went on well. My mother, she took care of me and my teacher and the dancing, etc. My, they were very happy that as long as I pursued it as a profession, as a hobby. திடீர்னு வந்து நான் டான்ஸ் ஆட போகிறேன் அப்படின்னா I don't think they took me seriously. முதல்ல வந்து
ஏதோ ஒரு
கொஞ்சம்
தானே விட்டுட போகிறேன்.
ஆமாம், கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லைட்டாக இப்போது சொல்கிற அப்புறம் சரியாயிடும். But I think, when I think back now, I think we were very indulgent. So even getting married, and we all, 18 வயசுலேருந்தே they'll start talking about marriage, right? So I got married just before I turned 22.
And that was arranged by your parents?
Yeah, it was arranged by my parents. So I was very insistent that I would stay only in Chennai, and only if the family approved or allowed me to dance. So all condition ellam potu. My parents-in-law were known to us because my aunt, my mommy is my sister-in-law. So I married her brother.
Oh.
So it was
your mommy's brother.
My mommy's brother.
So they would have had a fair idea what kind of
they've seen me since I was
your passion for dance. This was not something of a big shock for them.
I don't think they understood, but of course they were very supportive.
They accepted.
They were very supportive. I wouldn't even say only accepted. They were very supportive. So my husband and my mother were very, very supportive. Once you take it up as a profession, it's not an easy thing, because வந்து இங்கே சென்னையில் ஆடுற ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் ரொம்ப குறைச்சி சீசனில் இருக்குது. And for me, my focus was a performer. I didn't want to teach. I didn't want to run a big school. அதில் எனக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இல்லை. So I wanted to be a performer. அதுக்கு வந்து it requires a lot of travel.
Okay.
So anala I was out most of the time. So somebody had to look after the house, and I have 2 children.
Yes, you need that support.
So that support system, because of that I was able to dance and perform.
So you owe it to them.
Absolutely. You were asking me about my teachers.
Yes, yes.
So Kalanidhi Mami was a very traditional, conservative. She came from a very conservative background, and by nature, she was a very traditional.
You're talking about her as a person, a conservative person, or a conservative in her dance?
Yeah, as a
regime.
person. As a person.
Okay.
But when it came to being a teacher, she was just amazingly modern in her outlook, extremely open, very uninhibited, and very generous, and a true guru, and very disciplined, very correct in her. Kalanti Mami, the one thing I always appreciate about her, and I don't know how many of us were able to emulate it. Her life was in compartments, you know. Family-யும் profession-யும் கலக்கவே மாட்டா.
Oh.
How important it is, I learned later in life. அந்த காத்தால 9:10 மணிக்கு கிளாஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவா. We all had individual classes. அதனால 9 to 10 or 10 to 11 யாரோ வருவா. 11 to 12 somebody else will come. Then she'll give a break for lunch. So when her husband was at home in the morning before he left, no class. He came for lunch, no class. Evening 5 o'clock, over.
So sort of she gave him her undivided attention.
Absolutely. And not only that, I don't think at any point our worlds collided. Her personal world and art students collided. Not that there was a என்ன சொல்றது எங்களை அந்த மாதிரி not in a negative way, but she ensured that there was no conflict of interest. That's so important. அந்த ஒரு beautiful way of balancing home and
that's a management skill by itself.
Yeah, really.
And that's a good learning. Today people don't, they cannot multitask, it's all big talk, but if you ask them to do something, they're not able to juggle two things.
Really.
Or keep everybody happy.
Absolutely, and, isn't it?
Not, upset the
correct.
harmony of either of it.
Correct. And also classes-லாம் ஆத்துல தானே இருக்கும், வீட்டில் தானே இருக்கும் classes-லாம். So right in the middle, you have to go through the hallway and you have the class in a room. So we are also intruding on her personal space, but அதெல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப clean-ஆ she managed, and that was a skill. I appreciate it now, how beautifully she managed it. That was Kalanidhi Mami, who
probably in her own way she has impressed upon you, and you could also strike a balance between your performances and your home life.
Yeah, I mean, we all try, but I think Mami mastered it. But Kalanidhi Mami was, she came into teaching. That is, she was away from dancing for almost 35 years. அதுக்கப்புறம் டீச்சிங்க்கு வந்தா. She came back as a teacher. So when she came back, all her sons were all grown up. And she was also a mature woman in her 40s. And so she handled her life very well. And I was 9 to her 40 plus. So we had a huge generation gap in that sense. But she's been like a mother figure to me throughout, throughout. I mean, I owe everything to Kalanidhi Mami and Vadyar. Vadyar was a very quiet, a very gentle, great musician. ரொம்ப நல்லா பாடுவார். And see, we never realized the advantage and the good fortune that we had of listening to his music every day in class. So தினமும் practice தட்டின்னு இருக்கச்சு அவர் பாடி தானே எடுப்பார். So he trained our ears to the best and highest standard in music. So எங்களுக்கு the appreciation of good music, even எங்களால் பாட முடியலனாலும், but as dancers, the knowledge of music knowledge is so important. Understanding what you want and how to emote to it, how to respond to music is so important. But those lessons for me was so naturally taught by my vadyar because of the musician that he was. And அவர் வந்து வீட்டில் போட்டுட்டே அவர் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறது கூட used to be lost in his music. அண்ட் வந்து அவள்லாம் ரொம்ப ஆக்டிவாக இப்போல்லாம் வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி மைக்ரோ மேனேஜ் பண்ணி நம்ம கரெக்ட் பண்ணுறோம்ல, அதெல்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. He'll allow you to flower or grow.
That is very surprising because I thought teachers back then, I mean, not that it was that long ago, but even 20 years ago, they were a lot more, I mean, probably they curbed your individuality. That's what I would have got to hear. But today you are allowed to, flower and things like that. But this is very interesting.
It's subjective something. Like ஒரு டீச்சரை பொறுத்து இருக்கு. Neither Kalanidhi Mami nor Vadyar ever curbed. In fact, their motto was imagination is key and you should allow the student to grow. அவ ரெண்டு பேருமே they would show you a way, but they would give you the time and the space to grow. Those are all very unusual qualities, and also the qualities of a true guru. Both of them were like that.
They must have been very proud to see your growth and progress.
Vadyar passed away in 94. So now I came back to performing only in 98. But Kalanidhi Mami,
you had taken a break in between?
I actually see, the thing is, right from முதலேந்தே என்ன what would you like to be when you grow up? You know how we all ask up. And I always used to say dancer. But Anna,
I was about to also ask you that. If not this, what would you have?
I have lot of interests.
Okay.
So or rather, now I'm more focused on this. So Anala, Anna dance na, what does it entail, being a professional? See, hobby aadradhu is something everybody does. But if you want to be a professional and you want to dance, take it up as a career, if you want to perform, be a performer, it requires a very different kind of training, attitude and focus. So that, I think, took me some time to understand that. So I was around 31 or 32 when I took the decision consciously, and then after that's when I started performing again.
Okay, that must have.
I never stopped, but Anna, and the attitude shift happened later.
Okay, okay, but I guess that comes with it either comes or it doesn't come at all.
Maybe true. You're right.
And Mami,
Kalanidhi Mami, actually, she passed away only in 16. She was she's been a huge source of strength. See, Mami was not, she never looked at us merely as students. I think to her, I started when I was 9.
Yes,
with
yes,
her,
it's
right?
really young.
So I was more like her daughter. So there's nothing she didn't know.
So even losing her must have been a personal loss, besides being her student.
Of course. Because she was if whatever it was, like I remember when I had my second child, and I was thinking whether I wanted to dance, whether I wanted to be a professional. I almost gave up. Kalanidhi Mami தான் தினம் ஃபோன் பண்ணி கிளாஸுக்கு வரல, கிளம்பி வா நாளைக்கு. She'd be constantly prodding.
Probably she saw a lot of open spark in you. She didn't want to lose so much of talent.
I'd like to think that I was special to her, but then she would do it to all her students. She would never allow any of her students to stay away from dance. She would do it to all her students. So அந்த எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் அந்த தூண்டுதல் இல்லை, she always keep pulling you back, and so that I think, and a person you can turn to, a person you don't have to explain, they would understand. அந்த மாதிரிலாம் she was like that.
Okay, she was what I'm getting to understand, she was very even tempered.
Oh, she was very short tempered. Mommy could be quite intimidating. Both my children were terrified of her. In fact, அவ ஏதாவது பண்ணனா கலாநிதி மாமி கிட்ட சொல்வேன்னா பேசாம இருந்துருவா அவளுக்கு.
Either of your children have taken to dance?
No.
Okay.
But both of them appreciate the arts very much.
Mm.
But no, they don't dance.
When you were talking about yours, just a quick thought. I mean, this just came right now. I was thinking that a person who's into dance, they somehow have a ear or they have an understanding of music.
Mm.
They go hand in hand.
Mm.
But a vocalist or a person who's performing, who's singing,
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily need to understand dance.
Right. True.
So there's a double responsibility on the dancer.
Yeah.
You need to understand the music also.
You need to understand the music.
Or
need to
are you also
understand-
trained in music?
I did learn music, but I'm not a musician. But definitely, I need to understand music. As a dancer, I need to understand music.
The lyrics
I
and
need to understand. I need to know languages.
Mm.
I need to know the word-to-word meaning of the lyrics. I need to understand, the tala structure, the rhythmic structure in a music. I need to understand movement. I need to understand space. I need to understand lighting. There's everything. A
Lot of
dancer has a
elements.
lot of elements, and I need to understand how to use space, how to communicate, how to draw the audience in. It's not a.
how to even plan a performance, right?
course.
Like, of course,
That
even
is
music
everybody
that
does
is
it, yeah.
there, but
A dancer has everything. See, I always feel எழுதுறது ஒன்று, poetry when written, when spoken, but then when visualized becomes completed. Yeah.
very
So
true.
dance is like that.
That's right. So having said that, you were 9 when you went to Kalanidhi Mami, but even before that, you must have been about 6 when you went to Usha.
Yeah.
What was it? I mean, was it your request that you told your parents that you want to learn dance?
Not at all.
So Amma just took you and left you there?
Actually, Minala and the teachers used to come home mostly. So Usha teacher used to come home. So Kartala 6 maniki
Oh my God.
she used to be there. I don't think I even knew that I had a choice. Because my mother used to be sitting behind the door. அங்கேருந்து படி பாப்பா அதில் அந்த பயத்திலே ஆடுவோம், கண்லேருந்து ஜலமாக கொட்டு, ஏன்னா காத்தால அப்புறம் ஸ்கூலுக்கு போகணும் அதுக்கப்புறம். So,
But those days the kids were also not exposed to late nights, so
yeah,
or
and also we
gadgets
didn't know
and
we had a choice, and we didn't have that many, like you said, அவ்வளோ இது என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட்டோ distractions கிடையாது. And you just knew you had to do it.
you had siblings who
I
learned
had
along
a
with you,
younger sister.
so both of
I
you
have
learned
a
together.
younger sister. She started after me. But Anna my sister was she's very smart. அவ ரொம்ப நல்லா ஆடுவா, and she learned Mohiniyattam also.
Oh, what's her name?
And she doesn't live here. Her name is Vidya. But Anna வாத்தியார் கிட்ட கத்துண்டா. Anna, every time Vadiyar spoke about Arangetram, she would stop class. I think because my mother's concentration was completely on me,
She
so Anna
she
my
got to
sister
escape.
slid in the cracks, between the cracks. Like.
Maybe she's got her own regrets today for having
No,
done
I don't
that.
think she does.
I have because I sometimes think my mother was certainly like, but அது வாய்ப்பாட்டுக்கு she used to like say practice, and I used to find n number of excuses to escape, and today I feel, oh God, I should have somehow made it, and I could have seeing that perseverance and hard work. Just being talented is not enough.
Correct.
So and the consistent practice and all that, I think lacking in I was perfectly lacking in ambitions.
No, I think sometimes you get it. It happened very late in my life. Not that I was not
so
ambitious.
your sister's not performing?
No, my sister's she's a judge actually.
Oh.
She's a lawyer.
Okay.
Been recently elevated.
In Chennai?
No, she lives in New Jersey.
Okay. So and it was just 2 of you?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So when you came back, that was a little
I didn't
much
leave,
later.
but when I
Yeah,
went
when you took it
professional-
more seriously. So that means more hard work.
Yeah.
More hard.
Yeah.
And you used to, by the time I think your master would have moved on.
Yeah. 94ல
So,
போயிட்டாரு.
நீங்களே வந்து you worked on with yourself.
Yeah, so it was very difficult. ஏன்னா வந்து டீச்சர் இல்லாத, ஏன்னா வாத்தியார் என்னன்னா கம்ப்ளீட்டாக அவர் தான் பார்த்துப்பார். என்ன ஐட்டம்ஸ் பண்ணுறது, யார் மியூசிஷியன்ஸை புக் பண்ணுறது, எல்லாமே அவர் பார்த்துப்பார். அண்ட் அவர் பாடுவார், அவர் கண்டக்ட் பண்ணுவார். ஸோ என்ன சொல்கிறது, அப்பா வந்து ப்ரோக்ராம் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுவா, அம்மா வில் மேக் ஷுர் ஐ டான்ஸ், வாத்தியார் வில் டேக் கேர் ஆஃப் எவ்ரி திங். எனக்கு ஒன்றும் வேலை கிடையாது, டான்ஸ் ஆடுறது தான். ஸோ அதனால வந்து வாத்தியார் போனாட்டு வாஸ் a little bit of a you left in the in limbo. என்ன பண்ணுறது, எங்கே போகிறது, அடுத்தது என்ன, ஒன்றும் தெரியல. பட் மெதுவா you find your feet. And I worked with a very talented artist, A. Lakshmana Swami, for about 2-3 years. That was it was a very enjoyable period for me, because it was also when I was finding my feet. It was hugely a learning process for me to work with him. And then after that, slowly from there,
you both performed together?
No, didn't perform together. He's an artist, but I only used to take classes with him. And then after that, I dance solo. I don't dance with anybody. Then
is it out of choice?
Out of choice, I think. That's how I learned. Na vaadiyar kittiyum so individual classes da, mami kittiyum individual classes da, and that's so that concept of dancing in a group or production liyo, ena rendu perum production la mana maata. Ena mami abhinayam dhaan solli tharpa, vaadiyar Bharatanatyam, ana vaadiyar group productions la romba panna maata.
It needs a lot of what do you say, management skills to have a group production.
Ama.
You need to get everybody on board. Correct. And then identify their individual strengths.
Correct. And rehearsals. It's a lot of work, but you have fantastic teachers now who do it. Anita Guha, apron Sheila Krishnan,
huge productions they do.
Yeah, fantastic. They all do a great job, but that's a very different skill.
And adula choreography for a group production and a choreography or for an individual, a solo performance, there is difference.
Of course. Of course. You're dealing with many people of different levels, okay, and also a concept at the point. The way you choreograph for the concept is very different from how you present a Bharatanatyam performance in solo kacheri. And also individual are trained pandracha, you're looking at one dancer and looking at his or her strength. Yeah, that's correct. Very different. Correct. ஒரு 8 பேர் ஆடுறச்ச you have to find a common ground and avala training them to make sure they're all uniform. The way you'd visualize for that will be very different.
And you need to come up with themes and
correct. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
You need to want to do it. My vaadiyar was more அவர் வந்து at one time when we were all எல்லா அவரோட ஸ்டூடெண்ட் எல்லாரும் கச்சேரி பண்ணியிருந்தா. Almost every in season almost every day he was performing. And அவர் வந்து ரொம்ப நல்லா பாடுவார், பிரமாதமா நட்டுவாங்கம் பண்ணுவார். அவரோட இன்ட்ரெஸ்டே டு தயார் பண்ண இது சோலோ டான்சர்ஸ் தயார் பண்ணது. ஸோ அதனால
அது வந்து ஒரிஜினலாகவே, I mean there's nothing like original, but what I'm saying is way back it was more of solo dancing, right?
Yeah, I think productionங்கிறது I mean
probably films lala there used to be huge production sets on is there any particular film where you have you must have watched a lot, I mean you should have seen in Hindi, Tamil or whatever, Telugu, they've been very good dance sequences.
Absolutely, I love them. எனக்கு குமாரி கமலா, you all call
everybody
say that. Superb sequence.
I think she was brought into the film only because she could
dance,
add that extra.
Minala வந்து filmsல வந்து they had to have these dance sequences.
In fact, the heroine needed to know both how to sing and dance. Then it became atlas dancing.
Right.
In the times of Padmini and Vaijayamala.
I love Sai Subbalakshmi. Have you seen?
No.
Fantastic.
Tamil?
Speed. Tamil da. Speed. Recently
எந்த film சொல்லுங்க நாங்களும் போய்
நிறைய
இப்போ everybody has got loads of time on their hands, no, so they you could YouTube or something. Maybe my mother will recall.
Definitely. நாங்க வந்து இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக நான் வந்து ஐ ரீக்ரியேட்டட் சேம் கொரியோகிராஃபி வச்சு என்னோட 2 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸை வச்சு அந்த அறிவாளியிலேருந்து ஒரு டான்ஸ் சீக்வன்ஸ் இருக்கு. திஸ் இஸ் ஃபார் அ லெக் டெம் டு ஸ்பீக் அபவுட் how to use the body. Stunning. Not
Sai Subbalakshmi.
They were I think, I don't know if they were related or cousins or something like that, but they used to dance together.
Baby Kamala would sister, I think, still teaches Radha.
Yeah, she does fantastic productions.
Yes, I came across a video because one of her students is known to me, and at her age she herself is doing Abhinaya. I said, oh my God, here just to do yoga itself, like I'm like, I think I'm doing one great thing.
In the vayasla she'll do that mandi adavu kizhu
idliyo adha snippet தான் வந்தது. நான் சரி இதை வந்து பார்த்துட்டு okay, we can only admire, we cannot even attempt all this.
Amazing willpower.
Yes. So once a dancer, always a dancer.
I think so. It's like a bug. The bloodstream la ஏறிடுதுனா அது போகாது வெளியில.
So your shift, I mean, they say in the style of dancing in Bharatanatyam, I'm not even moving to Kuchipudi and Odissi, but just taking Bharatanatyam by itself, and I think that's where you specialize.
Yeah.
So there are different schools of learning.
Yeah. See, அப்பெல்லாம் வந்து
to just elaborate for a layman, how would you think that it's I'm not talking about which is superior or which is inferior, but how is it different, or how different is it?
See, பாணின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க.
அதான் பாணி.
பாணிங்கிறது வந்து it started off because அந்த அவ ஒரு வில்லேஜ்ல இருந்து வருவா, அவ it was and அந்த ஃபேமிலி அதை ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணும். ஸோ அவள் வழியாக வம்சாவளியாக அதை சொல்லி கொடுப்பா. ஸோ இட் came to be associated with that particular family, or it came to be associated with the place they were from. இப்போ தஞ்சாவூர் ஸ்டைல்னு சொல்கிறா, இல்லை பந்தநல்லூர் ஸ்டைல். ஐ மீன் என்னோட வாத்தியார் was singing for வழுவூர் ராமையா பிள்ளை சார். ஸோ அவர் வந்து ராமப்பிள்ளை சருக்கு பாடின்னு இருந்தார் ரொம்ப வருஷம். அதுக்கப்புறம் டான்ஸ் சொல்லி கொடுக்கறதுக்கு தனியாக வந்தது. ஸோ essentially we are all from, we learned the வழுவூர் ஸ்டைல். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருந்தது. ஆனால் இப்போ வந்து உங்களுக்கு அந்த டிஸ்டிங்ஷன்ஸ்லாம் இல்லை. ஏன்னா ஒருத்தரே நிறைய பேர்கிட்ட கற்றுக்கிறா. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு கலப்படம் நிறையா இருக்குது. பாணினா அந்த இப்போ எங்கள் வழுவூர் ஸ்டைலில் வந்து
கலாக்ஷேத்ரா ஸ்டைல் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் வழுவூர் ஆர் தஞ்சாவூர் ஆர் they have their own.
பந்தநல்லூர் ஸ்டைல் அவள் வந்து நிறைய டீச்சர்ஸ் வந்து பந்தநல்லூர் ஸ்டைலில் அங்கே சொல்லி கொடுத்துருந்தா. பட் இப்போ கலாக்ஷேத்ரா ஸ்டைல்னே தனியாக இருக்கு. See, it is how the technique has evolved. சில அடவுஸ், the way they do it, எப்படி அவள் பாடி பொசிஷன் வச்சுக்கிறா, the stance of the body, the way they execute, the items that they perform, all this distinguishes இவா கிட்ட கற்றுக்கிறா அப்படிங்கிறது தெரியும்.
இப்போ உங்களை மாதிரி ஒரு ட்ரெயின்ட் ஆகிட்டு வந்து நீங்கள் பார்த்தாலே யூ கேன்
சம்டைம்ஸ் யூ கேன் மேக் அவுட், சம்டைம்ஸ் யூ காண்ட். சி இப்போ வந்து சில பேர் வந்து கலாக்ஷேத்ராலேயே சொல்லி கற்றுண்டவாளுக்கும் கலாக்ஷேத்ராவில் கற்றுண்டு வெளியில் வந்துட்டு சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கவா, இல்லை கலாக்ஷேத்ராவில் கற்றுண்ட டீச்சர்கிட்ட கற்றுண்டவா, இல்லை கலாக்ஷேத்ரா கற்றுண்ட டீச்சர்கிட்ட சொல்லிண்ட ஒருத்தர்கிட்ட கற்றுண்டவா.
So it all changes.
It changes.
But you were one of those rare people, I think. I mean, I would say that you had an opportunity to be in the forefront of Kalakshetra and the admin.
Oh yes, yeah.
But you didn't need to teach over there.
See, I was there.
Otherwise
in the capacity. Yeah, I was there in the capacity of a director. So there really was no time to teach.
Yeah. But I'm sure you interacted with the students to give them some theory or leg dems and.
See, I wanted to. I thought I would teach Abhinaya, but I didn't, because எனக்கு வந்து there were too many things to do. Your day was full, and that was not the reason why I went there.
Yeah.
See, one thing is the teachers there are trained. Things happen there like clockwork.
Oh, really?
You know, avaloda and the
There's
repertory
a system in
company,
place.
there's a system in place. So just to ensure that
Yeah.
everything is comfortable for them, things go smoothly, that quality is maintained. Those kind of things is more what one is expected to do. But I did not go into the software, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and today there are so many youngsters who are doing very well for themselves
Yeah.
in the field of dance.
Absolutely.
I think one name which has always got so much of attention is Prashwanath.
Ashwanath, yes.
See,
Yes,
that's an
yes.
amazing dance.
Beautiful artist.
அது பார்த்தாலே என்னவோ அப்படியே I mean, is it even possible ன்னு தோணும்.
Beautiful artist. Yeah. And that too, a young male dancer.
Yes.
So rare, yeah.
இல்ல not so
Yeah.
many males
ஆமா.
male dancers.
ஏன்னா because it's basically உங்களுக்கு நீங்க பரதநாட்டியம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா definitely the movements etc have been designed for the female body. Yeah. Whether we like
And
to
it's very
accept it or
difficult, I
not.
would say, that somebody learns that to the opposite gender and not lets it affect
Correct.
their not become effeminate.
Mannerisms that are there.
Mannerisms.
True, very
It's
true.
tough.
He's a beautiful dancer. There are very nice, very good male dancers who have managed to keep their, without letting that feminine, what do you say, and the effeminate
Yeah.
Chandru sir irukkaru, neenga paathirukeenga? C.V. Chandrasekhar sir.
No, I haven't.
Beautiful dancer. 80, he's more than 80.
Okay.
Oh, என்ன ஒரு வில் பவர். அவரும் அந்த மண்டியடவு போடுவார்.
My God.
And 8 போடணும்னா 12 போடுவார் அந்த மாதிரி. Those are all
It's like
people who are inspirational.
It's something unbelievable.
Really? இப்பவே இந்த காலு ஜாயிண்ட் நம்ம பேசுறோம். அது was all to do with the mind. Yeah.
I find that lot of people who dance take to yoga also.
Yeah. Because it's also, I think yoga has got the breathing is so important. It's very healing, yoga.
Yes.
And I like yoga very much, especially for me it is
You practice.
yeah, it's very restful.
And I think when you hold postures,
Teaches you
it
balance.
aligns a lot of
Yeah. See, that actually I learnt a lot of body control when I was doing kalari.
Oh.
So kalari helped a lot.
I think this is what we need to move on to. You do a lot of, you're a multi-dimensional person, so what else do you do besides dance? It can't be only dance.
No, I did kalari mainly for dance. I mean, I'm not a kalari practitioner, but I learned kalari on and off over so many.
That's also, it's also strength, huh?
Yeah, it teaches you strength and core training, gives you balance, flexibility, reflexes. So all that I think kalari was very useful for that kind of training. And see, you use certain muscles in kalari, and when you dance, you look at your body, you understand your body differently. Only because you do when you practice an alternate kind of movement practice.
But it's a martial art, right?
It's a martial art, but it's an art. It's not it's very artistic, it's very concentrated, it's very beautiful. The movements mimic animals and birds. Yeah, and the reflexes are all for, and it's anticipating the movement of the opponent and designing your movement accordingly. It's a beautiful art form.
Recently I got excited and interested in Tai Chi, and when I saw, I enrolled myself, that's a separate story, but then I felt it was so like Mohiniyattam, going slowly, and there's a lot of grace and poise.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, there is a connect between martial arts and dance.
Of course.
And
see, dance allame aatame, the origin of it was celebrating victory dane in war.
yes,
So அப்படி தானே ஆரம்பிச்சு.
உண்மைதான். ஆமா,
ஆட்டம்னு சொன்னா அதுல தான் ஆரம்பிச்சு.
correct. So, what is your what about other forms of dances? Let's
I
let's
love
confine
Odissi.
with India. We have enough to choose and pick from. Odissi, yeah.
I love Odissi.
Uh,
But எனக்கு வந்து ரெண்டு டான்ஸ் ஃபார்ம் கற்றுக்கிறதுனா you need to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
என்னால் அது அந்த ஒரு முடிவு
ஒரு வெறித்தனமா அதுல
it requires a lot of work. And
Pratima Bedi did it, I think.
She did Odissi.
She first learned Bharatanatyam and then moved to Odissi.
Yeah, but she concentrated on Odissi.
Purely on Odissi, yeah.
So I love the Nrityagram dancers.
That's her enterprise, right?
Yeah, Shurupa Sen, Vijayani Satpathy. I also like Sujata Mohapatra. Beautiful. And Odisse's got such a lyrical,
Yes.
such a beautiful quality to it. So if I had not done Bharatanatyam, perhaps I would have done Odissi.
Wow. So what is Odisse's loss is Bharatanatyam's gain, I guess. We have you. I mean, not that Bharatanatyam belongs to us, but Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam are more like sisters, right? Very similar. Very similar, I would say.
To somebody
Maybe because
who's
of
not
dress
trained.
and
Dress. And also the
it's very
Talasamma.
south.
But actually the basic stance உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப different Kuchipudila. Natyarambam different, the way they hold themselves is different, walk, எல்லாமே different, pace of items, the kind of items, அவளோட அபிநயா, அவளோட pure dance எல்லாமே different. பட் உங்களுக்கு அப்பேரண்டாக பார்த்தா எல்லாம் சிமிலராக இருக்க மாதிரி தோணும். பட் குச்சிப்புடி இஸ் வெரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் பரதநாட்டியம். ஆனால் எங்கள் வழுவூர் ஸ்டைலில் சம் சர்டன் குவாலிட்டிஸ், அ சென்ஸ், சர்டன் சுவை, அதெல்லாம் சிலதெல்லாம் குச்சிப்புடியோட சாயல் இருக்கும், அந்த கண் பார்வை அதெல்லாம். பட் ஆனால்
would you I mean, I don't know how, I mean, if it's possible, but to show Kuchipudi versus just as you're sitting versus Bharatanatyam.
I'm not a Kuchipudi dancer,
okay.
so I don't know.
You wouldn't
Sorry.
know. Yeah, correct. So, and with Kathak, it's completely, I think there is a Mughal influence there.
Yeah, Kathakku modalla ninnundu aduva, meaning the stance is different, language is different, avaloda, communicating hastas, use pandra hastas, gestural language is different, body movements are different, the concentration is more on footwork. Of course they use their body,
Yes.
but on footwork, rhythm, and நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த எப்படி அந்த டான்ஸ் ஃபார்ம் இவால்வ் ஆச்சு இல்லையா, அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி that is the history of the dance form. It also impacted the way the dance form evolved.
Correct. We don't see so many Kathak or Odissi performances down south.
Yeah.
We don't get an opportunity to see it. For that matter, even Mohiniyattam or Kathakali. Recently, I went for a Kathakali performance at Kalakshetri.
Kathakali
Kalakshetrala varudhu. I think annually they bring it out.
Kathakali festival.
Yeah, this year also I saw.
This year there was Kathakali
Yeah,
festival.
Kalyana Saugandhikam. Yeah.
Ippo
In the December la.
Yeah.
They had this limited seating and all that. It was very interesting. So they paint their faces and அது எத்தனை நேரம், இன்ஃபேக்ட் பாட்டு பாட்டவெல்லாம் நின்றுண்டே பாடிட்டு இருக்கா, அந்த சண்டை அதெல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப நேரமா வாசிச்சுட்டு இருக்கா. இட்ஸ் a lot of நான் நினைச்சேன் பாவம் ரொம்ப பேஷண்டா நின்றுட்டு இருக்கா.
அதெல்லாம் அது அந்த ட்ரைனிங் தானே.
But it's over to paint, you don't even see the original face.
அந்த பெயிண்ட் அந்த கேரக்டருக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி அந்த கலர்ஸ் போட்டுப்பாங்க.
அது போட்டுப்பா ஐ திங்க் போடுறதுக்கு 1 மணி நேரம் ஆகும், எடுக்கிறதுக்கு 2 மணி நேரம் ஆகும் இல்லையா. ஸோ ஐ டோன்ட் நோ ஹவு வெல் அப்ரிஷியேட்டட் இட் இஸ். இட் வுட் கம் அண்டர் த லைக் யக்ஷகானா ஃபோக்
தியேட்டர் ட்ரெடிஷன். பட் ஆனால் வந்து முதல்ல உங்களுக்கு ஒன்றும் புரியாத மாதிரி இருக்கலாம், ஆனால் கதகளி இஸ் சச் அ ஃபேண்டாஸ்டிக் ஆர்ட் ஃபார்ம்.
அந்த கண்ணை வச்சு அம்மா அல்ல
டீட்டெயிலிங், அந்த ஒரு விஷயத்தை சொல்கிறதுக்கு எவ்வளோ 100 விதமாக அதை கண்ணாலேயும் அந்த ஜெஸ்டர்ஸாலேயும் அப்பா இன்னும் அழகாக சொல்லுவாள். அண்ட் தி மியூசிக் இல்லையா, it's such an overpowering music. அவள் they will take you on a high. They'll through their music and that அவளோட அந்த ரிதம் வழியாக they will teach you where the how to identify a spot that is going up. And
correct.
It's a fantastic art.
Like I think it is today with Skype and Zoom and things like. There is a lot of online classes happening for Bharatanatyam. And
ரொம்ப நாளாக நடந்துட்டு
ரொம்ப வருஷமா நடந்துருக்கு.
ஆமாம்.
I mean even pre-corona.
ஆமாம் ஆமாம்.
இல்லையா?
இப்போ ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ்
before corona. So I don't know, Kathakali, has it gone that far?
கதகளி டீச் பண்ணுறாளா?
I'm asking, I don't know.
ஐ ஹேவ் நோ ஐடியா. ஐ எம் ஷூர் எல்லாம் டீச் பண்ணுறச்ச கதகளியும் டீச் பண்ணலாங்க.
ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் இல்லை to teach online.
டீச்சிங் ஆன்லைன் இஸ் வெரி டஃப்.
Very tough.
பிகாஸ் உங்களுக்கு டான்ஸ் எஸ்பெஷலி ஐ திங்க் பாட்டு கூட ஓரளவுக்கு மேனேஜ் பண்ணுறாளும் நினைக்கிறேன். ஏன்னா ஃபோனில் கூட
I
சொல்லி
think you're very choosy about your students. You have very
yeah,
a
see,
limited
it's not a question of choosy. My choice was to be a performer.
perform. Do you think both, I mean, if you were to, both can't go hand in hand?
For me completely subjective. என்னால் பண்ண முடியல. ஏன்னா வந்து see you get very little time from
That's very candid of you. Yeah, correct.
you know because அப்புறம் வீடும் இருக்கு,
Yes.
சில்ட்ரனும் இருக்கு.
Yes.
அந்த டைமில் that's performance-க்கு see it's not just about
Performance,
giving
at
and
least it's about
performing.
you, but then when you have many students and you need to,
Yeah,
you're kind of, there's some ownership with all of them.
absolutely, and the responsibility is there. See, performance-na வெறும்னு போய் ஆடுறது கிடையாது. You have to prepare yourself. That is a 24/7 job. So நீங்கள் அது பண்ணிட்டு you have kids, a family, அதுக்கு மேலே students.
What do
For me,
your
it was
children
very
do?
tough. My daughter's, she's a Montessori teacher.
Wow.
My son, she got married recently.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I think it's such a fantastic feeling to have a child married.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ask me.
for me. Really?
Yeah, but both my sons got married, one after the other.
Okay.
Yes, it is kind of.
I think it's the best thing.
Yeah, it's the best thing. And today, in the lighter way, I had a lot of friends calling me and saying, "My God, Sandhya, that's fantastic. You got your children married," as if it was one Herculean task.
Yeah.
I said, "What is so great about it?" They said, "No, அது ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம்."
It is true.
In
For
today,
some people, yeah.
Today we are having so many challenges. I think more of geographical challenges. My friend has a son living somewhere, the girl is somewhere, the girl's parents are somewhere.
அது ஒன்று. ரெண்டாவது நிறைய choice இருக்குல்ல. You know, like there are a lot of conditions, expectations, and those kind of things are also. முன்னெல்லாம் வந்து what? I mean, look at me. My condition was they should accept my dancing.
Yeah.
மற்றபடி I
And
didn't
you
care.
had him next door, kind of. Your mommy's brother, so.
Yeah, I
You don't have to look
any
far.
other expectation, right? You get married like that. And you marry for keeps. Whatever said, you know
Yeah.
what you
make it work.
happen.
You make it.
But இப்போ அந்த choicesலாம் இருக்கு. So அந்த though to find the right person, to make sure it all works. It is
Anybody
not
who
a
asks me
small-
what's the success of a secret marriage, I just tell them stay married. You'll just get used to it. And then by the time it becomes a success, what you think
Yeah.
is. So that's very nice. She lives in Chennai?
She lives in Chennai.
Okay.
And I have a son, my younger child is a son. So he is a lawyer. He's goes to practices.
Okay. They're doing very different things. Montessori.
Yeah. My son-in-law is also a lawyer.
Oh,
Both of them.
that's nice. So, what are your other interests besides dance?
I like reading, I like traveling, I like books, I like off late during COVID I started cooking. It started off as a necessity, but I really love cooking. I watch a lot of YouTube channels.
It is by itself a art and it's very healing,
Very.
provided
So
people
interesting.
eat.
What you cook?
Yeah, no, I used to cook like as if I'm doing cooking for an army, and I love cooking. And there's no too. I'm not even bragging. I know I'm a very competent cook. But if they don't come and if the breakfast is not eaten, then how do you move on to prepare lunch?
Correct.
And I'm very enthusiastically cooking all the time. So yeah, I think cooking today people look at it as a a big task. But my time, I'm still very curious. Every time I pick up a new dish, I'll be wondering how did they make it? What has gone into it? எள்ளு போட்டிருப்பாளா இல்லை பச்சைக்கடு
Yeah.
போட்டிருப்பாளா?
I
I'm
think
already
it's a
inquisitive, you know.
fascinating
It's very
thing. Yeah, I
fascinating.
know.
And Indian cuisine is like
Isn't it?
endless.
I know.
Endless.
And there's so much variety. YouTube.
அது தரந்தாலே ஆமா.
Isn't it? I really enjoy
I
it.
don't know, this YouTube is it's fun also.
Hmm.
My two new daughters-in-law, sometimes when they want to do something, பக்கத்துலேயே நம்ம இருப்போம், they'll just rather check with you, they will just go from the YouTube.
That's
And
the
it turns out
mother-in-law
well.
talking. Yeah.
No, it comes out well anyway. So I say it's come out very well. Say no, it's YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's, and you learn trial and error.
Correct.
அது வந்து it's
And also repeat it. You have to be at it.
yeah.
இதெல்லாம் ஒரு நாள் பண்ணி
ஒரு நாள் பண்ணின மாதிரி அடுத்த நாள் வராது அதே டிஷ் பண்ணினா கூட. It's not like baking, you know, where you have the correct proportions and you just whisk the batter and just put it in. This Indian cooking is a little different. It's, you have your home recipes handed down.
Correct.
And things like
Correct. No, that's really
That's
nice.
right.
Yeah.
And I think you're very fond of dogs and
I have 2 dogs. Like, difficult to say if you have dogs to call them dogs, isn't it?
oh, they are like family.
Yeah. Two characters.
It
They're
takes
like
a lot of I feel a big emotional investment that you know, once you take it up, then you need to
and also
give it
they're
all.
very they're extremely what do you say, therapeutic.
Oh,
having
yeah.
dogs.
and I'm always scared what happens you know, once we lost a dog and after that it takes
Very
a long time
traumatic.
to ஏற்கனவே we have to deal with people's losses and
Correct.
top it all.
I know.
I think we have a question for you.
Sure.
So what's up? So apart from there is a viewer who wants to know, apart from performing, how do you engage with Bharatanatyam and artists? How do you, I mean, performance is one. Is there any other way where you
How do I? Or
yes.
how does one?
What
do I
think
do?
I think it's meant for you. It's meant for you.
Okay. So I conduct a lot of workshops now, and
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. So online. Actually, Minnala, I thought online kitte po maten. But COVID has taught you that you can never say absolutely no
to
anything.
anything. Yes.
So I do online only because
Your workshops have started only after COVID, or even before that?
Online workshops started after COVID. See, earlier when I was traveling on performances, I used to take workshops. Like ஊருக்கு போனேன்னா, if I'm there for 3 days, then I would take a workshop. If I'm traveling back-to-back performances, I wouldn't.
Who would organize that in that?
நான் tour பண்ற whoever the manager was would organize it. So இங்க வந்து இப்போ online workshops வந்து I do like for different organizations. The biggest advantage is people from any part of the world can join, can have access.
That I
So
agree.
I feel that's a fantastic advantage.
It is sort of there is no barrier of distance anymore.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's a big boon for them. Because otherwise என்ன நீங்க மெட்ராஸ்க்கு வரணும் if you want to learn from somebody. Yeah. இது வந்து online has completely brought you close wherever you are, whichever part of the world.
True.
So I do workshops. We have started a small organization online, not online. We're doing it online this year because of COVID. Basically, it's a resources organization.
Okay.
To conduct workshops, to hold seminars.
All oriented to Bharatanatyam.
Right now, that's our focus. To bring out publications, to hold immersions. So this is our idea.
Okay, that's
That's
right. So
what I do.
what is the organization's name?
Navadarshana.
ACHARYA.
Yeah.
You're available on
I think, yeah.
Google
we
should
have a
reveal
Google,
where you
yeah,
are.
Yeah. We also have a YouTube channel. Just started. Yeah.
Okay. Best wishes to that.
Thank you.
So I think your school also has played an active role in your
My
performances.
dance school?
No, your primary school or middle school. You're a student of Vidya Mandir.
Yeah.
So they must have been very encouraging.
Yeah. Vidya Mandir.
Vidya Mandir, a lot of stars have emerged out of that place, I must say.
They're very, it's like, they're very indulgent and very tolerant and very encouraging. It's a beautiful school,
It's a
especially
second
when
home.
I grew up.
Yeah.
I did only 2 years there. I
Oh.
was in Church Park for till my 10th.
Oh, really?
Plus 2 then I came to.
Oh, okay.
But of
okay.
course, it has had the 2 years, the 11th and 12th.
For a church park to Vidya Mandir
Any
must have been a
school,
transition.
I was any school you go to. I was in an all-girls school. Again, we came to Vidya Mandir, which is a co-education. But Vidya Mandir la co-education ke, I think our class ka adha first year co-education, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. So it's been lovely having you with us.
Thank you, Sandhya.
And,
Such a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. And wish you a very happy new year.
You too.
We wish the viewers also a very,
Yeah.
very happy new year. And I think let's hope that 2021 will be,
I know.
open
Absolutely.
up more doors.
Yeah, I wish all the viewers of Music Madras to a very, very happy new year. 2021 should be peaceful, healthy, happy, joyous, and give you freedom to do what you want.
One of our Music at Madras has been endeavoring to keep the spirit of music
Absolutely, fantastic.
going,
Yeah.
because it could be very depressing in these. 1 month became 2 months, 2 months became 3 months. Nobody knew what they were fighting when it came to COVID. It was like an unseen
Yeah.
thing. So,
So what I also want, I see Music of Madras on Facebook every day doing a live.
yeah.
Fantastic. It's not easy doing something like this to
Thank you.
and keep up the good work. And I hope this grows.
And
from
for New
strength
Year,
to
we
strength.
have brought in a special guest for you. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
This is a small
Thank you.
gift from us.
Thank you.
So see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you. And a very, very happy New Year.
Namaskar.